In this session, we're going to talk about sets of numbers. Now, this will be a very short session because we're just introducing sets of numbers. As you go on further, you're going to, expand these sets to understand them even better. Okay. The first sets of numbers that we're going to talk about is what we call a set of integers. Okay, now the symbol for the integers, it's going to be something that looks like a Z, but it has that. Okay, so this will be the symbol. Now, what are these sets? So a set of integers, we're just talking about numbers which are negative and the positive, or the positive and the negative numbers. Okay, so I can say okay, it's moving from this, let's say -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and you're going like that. So that would be a set of integers. Then another set that you need to understand is a set of what we call natural numbers. Now, natural numbers, these are counting numbers. Okay. So these are counting numbers. Excuse me for that. So these are counting numbers. So the symbol that you're going to use is a capital N, and it looks like that. Okay, so we're talking about counting numbers. Counting numbers like 1, 2, 3, and you're going like that. So those will be natural numbers. Then you also need to understand what we call rational numbers. Or before I go to rational numbers, okay, they're also called what we call whole numbers. Now you're just starting from 0 if you're talking about whole numbers. Okay, but now rational numbers, because you're not going to be talking about whole numbers. So rational numbers. Now, how are we going to denote these rational numbers? Something that looks like a Q, but it has like that. Okay, so the rational numbers, these will be numbers which can be expressed as ratios of integers. What do I mean? As long as a number can be expressed in the form of, let me say, as a fraction. If you say 1/2, if you say, 1/1, 2/2, as long as it can be expressed in a fraction, that is a rational number. Then you also have to understand what we call irrational numbers. So the way we're going to denote irrational numbers, okay, looks like a Q, okay, but it does something like a complement like that. Okay, depends the literature that you're using. So those are irrational. Now, irrational numbers are numbers which cannot be expressed as ratios of integers. What do I mean? They cannot be expressed in form of a ratio. Maybe let me say A/B. Okay, so these irrational numbers, things like the square root of a 2, the square root maybe of a 3, like that. What do we mean here? If I'm going to find the square root of 2, it's going to give me a non-repeating decimal. What do I mean? If I maybe let me say it's giving me 1.42678, maybe 6 again, like these numbers will not be like repeating. I mean, a number, let me say, is giving me 1.3, then this 3 is continuing like that. So it's not going to give me such an answer. Okay, now if it gives me such an answer, this will be the same as an irrational number. You will learn about how you find, because this can also be expressed as a fraction. So you learn about how you deal with the repeating decimals. So an irrational number will give you non-repeating, so the pattern will not be repeating. Okay, So that's the difference. Then you also have to understand what we call real numbers. Okay, so real numbers, now real numbers, okay, the way we're going to denote the symbol is an arrow that looks like that. Okay, so what are these real numbers? Any number that you can think about right now in your head is a real number. Okay, any number that you can think about right now in your head is a real number. So you can talk about 0, 1 over 2, 0.67, you know, the square root of something. So all the numbers that you can think about right now are real numbers. Okay, that is very, very important for you to know. Then the last type of numbers that you need to understand, they are what we call complex numbers. Okay, the symbol for the complex numbers to just be, you know, a capital letter C like that. So now the complex numbers, these are a set of numbers which have the real part and the imaginary part. So videos have been done on how in all these sets of numbers. There are videos both on the drive and on YouTube. Just search Novaston Academy sets of anything that you need to understand here on this list. Videos will come. So complex numbers have got a real part and an imaginary part. So you have the real part, let me say 0, which is a real number, but it also has an image. Okay, so because of that, that one will be called a complex. These are big numbers. So let me say if I've got a plus, its image will be maybe IB. Okay, I to mean is an B will be the image of A. So these are what we call complex numbers. So these are the numbers that you need to understand or know about the sets of numbers. Now I must make mention that your natural numbers are a subset of your integers. Okay, then your integers will be a subset of your rational numbers. Then your rational numbers will be a subset of your real numbers. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. So if you're going to draw this, if you're going to draw that, so these will be your natural numbers, these will be your like let me say your integers, then these will be like your, you know, your rational numbers, then these will be like your you know, your real numbers. So that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so that is very, very important for you to know. So this is what I end for from this session. See you in the next session.